Today, the topic of discussion is about how data integration happens between Salesforce and Marketing Cloud. And there are various means in which this integration happens. Basically, you have connectors between Salesforce and Marketing Cloud, you have file import, you have different APIs. So today discussion will be more on to between Salesforce and Marketing Cloud. And you people have been must be using Marketing Cloud Connector. With the Marketing Cloud Connector is that it's a standard API connection between Salesforce and Marketing Cloud. This Marketing Cloud Connector can be basically installed from App Exchange, and we can able to configure that. The configuration takes time, probably around 15-20 minutes to ensure it's all working. And sometimes that you tend to do a connection between multiple Salesforce orgs, and that can be a quite challenge to see that which business units trying to connect different Salesforce data. So as a data analyst and as a business analyst, we tend to spend a lot of time to ensure that the data crossover between orgs doesn't happen and it works independently and without any problem. And technically they call it as a data stream, and the data stream is nothing but the Marketing Cloud Connect, and the data is flowing in between these two clouds seamlessly and without any challenges there. So now this comes to the question like why we are trying to do this. That's a basic question before even drilling down to how to do that. So first thing is that people are using Marketing Cloud for various reasons, for sending SMS, sending mass emails, and for triggers sent on particular conditions of what we are trying to do. And here we can generally see that the object from Salesforce need to get in to the Marketing Cloud, and the data, the records, whatever you have on Salesforce object must get synced to Marketing Cloud. And this tries to bring that there has to be one point of truth all the time. And so that's how this data stream can really help, and the synchronization of data happens in the regular time interval, and then that's how the data gets synced regularly. And we can have run automations within Marketing Cloud to ensure that synchronization happens at a particular time, and so that even though we have a manual way of syncing it, but most of the time automation can also be run on Marketing Cloud to sync all this data back. So here there are two ways of importing the Salesforce object import into Marketing Cloud. And if the user license, the client license is having Contact Builder, then we can be able to use Contact Builder to do this. If they don't have a Contact Builder license, then we have to use the import definition across. So I'll be just showing those glimpses of screenshots that I have done. Also that this is the Salesforce org that I'm trying to work on, and this is the Marketing Cloud that has been integrated across this platform, and both have been synced, and I will go through those slides one by one. Yeah. So one using the Contact Builder, and here there are 3 steps. Basically, you have to configure the data that is being referred in the Contact Builder. Then you set up the object and select those fields, and then the entity gets added up, and we have to choose it whether from which date would you like to do a sync, and the poll schedule needs to be done. So additionally, few things that happens in the background, you can able to see that this is a schema builder within Salesforce. And now because of this connector, we can able to see the same schema builder is getting created back in Marketing Cloud. And previously, that sort of visibility wasn't there. So now a lot of UI has come in, and then we can able to see a better visibility. So whatever you're able to see here, all the relationship, lookup, roll-up relationship, everything gets equally gets transferred across to Marketing Cloud. So it happens seamlessly, so you don't have to worry about it. Same data structures are maintained across. So this is the demo there, how it happens. I'll just get on here. So get onto the contact builder, and then you can able to get onto this screen, and there we have a data source. And previously I had basically synced all these objects across within from Marketing Cloud here, and you can click on setup object. That's when you can able to choose which object would you like to set up. It can be both standard objects as well as the custom objects that we can able to use for this purpose. So there is no restriction as such. So it's been quite open in that front. So here is basically all these objects that has been synced previously, and you can able to see that naturally this is going to take in a lot of space across, but we have to be quite wise enough to ensure that what objects we are trying to sync in, and what fields in each object is trying to sync in, because everything counts to dollar value at the end of the day, and we don't want to have unnecessary data sitting in Marketing Cloud. And this slides are just trying to see that it's going to be like lot of objects here, so it's not a very good practice to have all everything here. So this is just a demo to tell that we have to be quite skeptical about like whether we want to have all this data needs to be there. Probably we have to run a lot of workshops and stakeholder meetings to ensure that to see the roadmap of the business, as well as to able to bring what is necessary to within Marketing Cloud. So these are the steps that's been there that we are trying to do. This is for basically the account object, and you can able to see that there are so many fields, and here I trying to choose all the records, and here basically I've chosen all the fields. So basically it's not a good practice to have all the fields, but I was just trying to show where we go wrong and where we can go right. So that's one of the reasons that I've taken this screenshot. And also that sometimes you may have data from so long, and I tend to choose all records. It is better that to do a data cleanup within marketing as Salesforce, and then we can able to see that eradicate those records that's not required. And sometimes you may have a business complaints where you must have several years of data all in one place, and then those records greater than 7 years doesn't require to be synced, so that we can able to do that. And here the poll schedule we can able to choose, and we can have whether you want to do it in 15 minutes or you can do it in 1 hour. So all those parameters are there. You can able to have a choice of this poll, and then you can click on save and synchronize, and then you can able to the whole sync does happen, and it asks for your confirmation whether would you like to go for the sync process to happen. And you can able to see that it started with 0, and then you can able to see that it started to sync in the data. Then you can able to see that this had happened. So I'll just jump on to the Marketing Cloud to show you this. So anytime you want to run it, so currently it has been paused, so there is no automation running, so it has paused. So we can able to do that, or otherwise you can able to click on resume sync to see that if everything is. So since I've got all the fields in account object, literally it is taking time. So this all adds up. So this is one of these things that we have to be really careful. about how many fields that we are choosing. So this one of these things, this keeps going on and on.
Can we come back and add new fields if you want?
Yes, yes, yes. So it will be on a new data extension. So as yes, so yeah. So.
And the journey builder doesn't require these synchronized objects to have in the data source. They can still work.
Yeah.
So
I think this gets added up every time when the sync happens. The journey builder gets updated with a new set of data.
I think this one is more for when you're doing Automation Studio, building queries and all that.
Yeah.
But for journey builder, I think this setup is not required because the data still passes through. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Right?
I think Gerard.
You mean you can still select the entry source from the Salesforce data, so you don't have to do this synchronized setup.
As long as you get it set up.
Yeah. Okay.
So once that, because this is when the journey builder is not working, and when we are only working on other, so because we are working on another client for CRC as a part of the our group here, so they don't have a contact builder. So they don't have journey builder. So we have to do it this way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can able to see that when synchronization finishes, so it comes with the sync details. So you can also able to see the data, how much records that we have got synced in, just to clarify between the Salesforce as well as the Marketing Cloud to ensure that the sync has happened properly. This is a screenshot of those fields that has got synced back, and the records that was also there across that's been pulled in. So the second option is that using import activity. And with this import activity, when we don't have a cloud like contact builder license, then we can able to use this import activity. And with this import activity, we go for interactions and import and able to define what you want and which objects that would you like to sync. And you can also have particularly that so you can have a choice of this, whether you want to do it in FTP or probably Salesforce objects that we can able to import.
Another question about this. Yeah. So Mike was saying that this is the only option to import reports. You can't import reports through data streams.
It's using data stream, but we can also have a choice of which reports you want to.
If I just want to import Salesforce reports, I can't do that by synchronization in data stream. We have to use the import activity.
Yes.
And sorry, another question about reports, and I haven't really spent much time. So when you go and execute an import activity or a report, does it execute that report at that time, or is it just a, because obviously that report just can dynamically change, right?
Yes.
So we'll actually go and execute the report, run the report in Sales Cloud.
Yes.
All these
yes. Yeah. Probably we may do a sync manually to ensure that it's up to date. And
So you have to sync manually to ensure something?
No. Just in case if sync doesn't happen properly, but automation it also happens. Is that right?
No, for this particular activity, the report gets refreshed in the Sales Cloud first, and then gets imported into the Marketing Cloud.
Yeah. So once it's been defined, basically the update does happen. Yeah.
And I guess the beauty about this is that it's dynamic, and that if I had to go and add additional fields to the report, would they get included or no? No, they wouldn't, would they?
They
It
would
probably fail.
No.
Well, actually, I probably would have failed. It probably still work, but they certainly wouldn't get included. Because at the point that you save that,
Yeah.
it creates the data
It's
extension.
yeah, of course.
So you actually do need an import activity to import reports.
Yeah, correct. That's right.
Currently, this org doesn't have the sales object and report to show you there, but I think that's a good question. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's it with my presentation for this evening. So, any questions there?
Yeah, I mean, I guess point to note is that I guess the disadvantage with data synchronization is a number of things, as I understand it, and I believe I'm no expert in it. So, firstly, you have to import. So I stepped out, but you can't filter. You have to import all records, don't you?
Yes.
And you can take filter.
Yeah.
That's it. You can say I want filter. You
Oh,
want
they-
records
they-
from
they-
this
yeah.
date onwards.
Yeah.
That's it.
So otherwise, you have to use reports. There used to be. This is unfortunately no longer a limitation now, but as of May last year, when shortly after DataStream was released, and you had over 478,000 records in Sales Cloud, it wasn't reliable. But now you can. There's not that limitation.
It's not a limitation.
Is it? But that thing's got like 11 million coming through. It took 9 days to do.
Yeah, but I thought the one that you had at 48 didn't work.
But the limitation with file import that I've experienced is that it's based on the amount of not fields you're importing, but the data in those fields. So it's based on that payload, and that it fails. And what we've had to do is, if we're importing, say, 60 fields from an object, sometimes have to break it up into a dozen, or half a dozen, or a dozen different import activities, and then join them together in a SQL query. It just time out, and it's not. You can't say that it's not specifically related to the amount of fields. It's actually the data in those fields. It's the field length.
I was just discussing with George. They had a challenge like this, like 1.2 million records has to be synced, and where this error was coming up when 100,000 started to come in, and then they started to truncate it based on alphabets, and so A to K, and then K to and then. So they did multiple reports, and that's how they are able to overcome this challenge that they had. Yeah, yeah.
And also bear in mind that when doing data synchronization in DataStream, then that's counted towards this notion of a contact. So there's this contact in Marketing Cloud, which has different meanings. I mean, I originally assumed a contact was a contact in contact folder, a contact being a abstract entity of which a person represents, but in the under the license, you've got this notion you'll build for the amount of contacts, and the contact is, in order to describe a contact is anyone who's actually synchronized in DataStream, it contacts the population, it contacts everything, like mobile connect list, and they're apparently deduplicated.
This is the exact question that we've colleagues have got.
Yeah. So had a friend who said, "Oh, importing 9 million contacts." You do know that when you import 9 million contacts, that this is going to count towards your number of contacts. And the frustrating thing is there's no visibility. There's no easy way to go and calculate the number of contacts on the account. At the moment, they promise it's coming in a report, but it's not.
Because we got a notification
Sales report. Agent?
Yeah.
You can say it's a report that you can run.
a couple
There's supposed to be, I think, in there.
We
You
didn't know
go
how to
to,
calculate how many contacts we
there's a
had.
contact report, is there?
It was very difficult.
Yeah.
I think the billing also based on number of
Just
contacts.
the,
Yes.
the-
Contact count is
Right.
So,
Very smart billing.
We just went over the limit and
Very
they told us to run a contact.
So I know they're going to add it, and I didn't see it in the release notes. Can you go to, have you got email marketing cloud open?
It's not in reports. Oh, it's in
No,
reports.
it's not in the report. So if you go into administration, email marketing cloud, so you go to the tab next to it.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry?
Email.
To the
It
left.
says email marketing cloud.
The left.
Left.
The tab at the top.
The tab at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Mouse at the top.
Look.
So it's one of two
Yep.
places. I think it's under administration as well. First go, and if you go to on the top towards the end, data management. No, it's not there.
Maybe under any of this stuff.
No, maybe it must be under email admin.
What would it be under email admin?
There it is. Seriously.
It's in the wrong place.
Subscription details. Isn't it? It's one of the subscription details. The next on the tree. Yeah. That one. Yeah, I know. It's just email send report. No. Okay. Can you remember where it is, Angel?
Just the usual call.
Contact report. Okay, so it's under reports, is it?
okay.
No, go to reports. So from the Marketing Cloud menu, so go up to email and go to the reports page. So under it's analytics,
Analytics builder.
reports. And there's a little report catalogue of contacts, is there?
It's contact count, I think that's what it's called.
Contacts, yay! Channel, contacts. How cool is that? You see contacts?
Yeah, that's the one.
Contact counts, that's new. That was never in there.
Okay.
And they said it was going to be click create, you see what gives you. That's nice. Last.
Yeah, it's
So
nice
the
until you
billable
actually
count
see the
of
bad
contacts.
news.
The
Date
custom.
range.
Why would you want a date range?
No, I have no idea. Can't custom since the beginning of time. Does it show you? Just
That's weird. I don't remember running a date range.
just say last 30 days anyway. And just say, does it give you a breakdown or?
Oh, actually, yeah.
Maybe every new
Because they're only
contact
interested in
added,
the latest count. Doesn't matter what your count was 6 months ago.
and they're gonna bill you for,
Okay,
for
so
the extra
shows-
contacts that you have added to your account.
No, I'm just going to
Distinct
delete
contacts.
contacts.
41.
What do you want to
So you grab it based on maybe you create a date. Not bad.
And you have 7 subscribers. 41.
Ten.
That's it, isn't it? It's 10. Yeah. So it must be.
So there's 41 all up, so it'll be
Yeah, that's
that
what-
plus. Where did the where's the sync gone to?
Down the bottom in the tree.
No,
it's got
in
synchronized
Sales-
data extensions.
Is it in there?
Synchronized data extensions, isn't it? No, next one, synchronized data extensions.
There's 22 in that.
22.
And it's 22 in that, so that'll be that. So what was it? There's 10 in one, there's 22 in another. That's only 32.
And they're
Just showing
something
40.
you could measure, maybe. Yeah. Makes sense.
No.
Anyway, okay.
How many were there, sorry? All up?
41.
41.
Okay.
So
Yeah, got no idea.
22, 32.
And it's all there, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
so what's that? That's 35.
35, 9.
44. There's 44, all those together.
No, but they count the subscribers list separately.
No, it's supposed to
supposed to.
deduplicate by subscriber key.
So basically, users are considered contacts, even though they're not really. Like Salesforce users are considered contacts.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't make sense. doesn't even really make sense that accounts are considered contacts. Contacts should be considered contacts. And also subscribers should possibly, and maybe more. Yeah.
So I think there may be 10 users in Salesforce, but only 5 people will be having capability to use Marketing Cloud.
And the other option would be to, if you've got all your contacts, be it through an import activity or synchronized data extensions, then you can use the Salesforce Object MScript function to go and just dynamically retrieve the value rather than synchronizing into data extensions. So it's like real time and you're not charged for the contact count, and it doesn't count towards your API limit because MScript functions, as long as it's the latest version of the connected app user, tracking events count towards your API limit, but not.
Still need the import there though.
You still need it for contacts.
To be able to get the actual contact.
Yeah,
ID.
for contact ID. The thing is, I put something on Stack Exchange a couple of months ago, and we had this discussion, didn't we, Nikhil? And I had a discussion with Adam Speaks. The one thing that really annoys me is that, and I'm no Sales Cloud expert, so please correct me, but you've got this life cycle of notion of you've got a lead, and lead becomes a opportunity, optionally then becomes a contact,
And
account
and contact.
And an account. But let's just say a lead becomes a contact, yeah, in the simplest form. So if you're synchronizing that either by an import activity or this, or if it's by either, then it's going to go, so you send an email to lead and they become a contact, and they two issues. A, they get a new identifier, so all of a sudden you've got another subscriber key, and if they, and I haven't verified this, but if they opted out as a lead and then they become a contact, I don't think there's a relation to who ID or anything. It will go and mark them as a subscriber. So, if I unsubscribed when I'm a lead and now all of a sudden I'm a contact, I'm subscribed again.
Could have done something there, surely, to go from being a lead to a contact.
But, I mean, it could be a sales call, right? And it could happen in Sales Cloud. If someone's been converted to a lead to a contact, and you've got all of a sudden you've got this duplicate key problem so now I've got two things. A, I've got potentially up to double the amount of contacts in my contact model, or what's counted as a contact in Marketing Cloud, and there's really no way to get rid of that. I mean, you can.
You can't do it for lead to contact.
Yeah.
You deal with Salesforce support and they push the data stream because it's their new great way of doing everything. But the reality is, as far as I'm aware, it still falls over and they get counted as contacts. But they still haven't come up with a good alternative.
Well, what happens though, Nikhil, and I know you're looking at it, I don't know whether you completed it, but if I'm moving through a journey as a lead and then you've got an activity to convert that lead to a contact, because you can do that, right?
Yeah.
So does that contact would still continue moving through the journey with that lead ID, or?
Yes, actually what happened was that when the lead object was synchronized with Marketing Cloud, the new data extension that was created, it had the lead ID, it had the converted account ID, converted contact ID, converted opportunity ID. So when the lead was converted in Sales Cloud, it did not create a new record itself, it just added the contact ID, converted contact ID to that record.
Okay.
So that contact kept running through the journey.
As a lead.
Yeah, as a lead.
You can run through the journey, but how do you deal with them when you're actually trying to email them?
I'm not sure because the last.
If you pull across like the lead object and then you email that, then you've got to set up something as subscriber key.
Yeah.
Maybe
we were using the lead ID as the subscriber key because that is still going to be the same and unique for that particular record. Lead ID is not going to change for.
No, it's not. But if that person then becomes a contact and then you start sending emails to contact, the whole point is that you've got two records, so you're getting charged for two contacts within Marketing Cloud that are one person. And you do that for everybody, and you've got 1 million people, you're not getting charged for 1 million people, you're getting charged for 2 million. And it's cheap to have a contact in Marketing Cloud, but this is the reason why data streaming, as much as it's there, you think it's
Here we go.
I did not see an additional contact record created for that lead.
no, I'm talking the all subscribers list.
All
Yes.
subscribers, yes. Since it will be a new email that will be sent to that contact, might create.
Yeah, it's going to have a different
Yeah,
subscriber. So you've got 2 records for 1 person.
And then this is the question I asked. I went through this somewhat long question. It's saying that we convert the lead to an opportunity and ultimately account, but up to 3 records are created. You can account a contact and optionally an opportunity, and the lead object is changed to a system record. So, and this is what Adam Spriggs says at DG. They create automations that do a query extract import to import all subscribers for any email address that's associated with an unsubscribed subscriber key. To avoid, if I've unsubscribed as a lead, and then to honour our unsubscribed member contact, but it's inherent duplication in the platform is tied to billing, and I just can't believe it's. Anyway, okay. It's just no consideration.